Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Risking It All. Today we've got Brian, co-host from Jolly Media Marketing, and myself, Andy from McDade's Coaches. And today we're joined by Derek, the founder and owner of Soccer Boppers.
Welcome, Derek.
How are you doing? All right?
Thanks for
How's
being
it going?
here.
So Derek again is another fan of the show. We finally managed to get on, so I'm sure you know sort of the way we do it here. We'll do a wee bit about yourself and you're growing up, and then you can tell us all about Soccer Boppers. So
Cool.
Go back to young Derek. Tell us about young Derek.
Young Derek grew up in Viewpark.
Same as us.
Same as you, Viewpark.
VYT.
Grew up in Viewpark, Elm Crescent. Brilliant place to grow up. I loved it, Viewpark. Just, we were growing up, me, my two brothers, my mum, my dad. My mum and dad weren't together, but we wanted for nothing. My dad worked, my mum had jobs and that, so money was, we didn't have loads of money to throw about, but we wanted for nothing, me and my brothers. Growing up in Viewpark, just as I said, just a brilliant place. Viewparks, as you know, it's like a big clique. Everybody knows everybody.
Aye.
So, growing up, everything was just football. Football. Playing football in the street. We grew up on Elm Crescent, which is just, it was a brilliant street to grow up in. Hundreds of kids the same age. Everything was just football. If it was my dad taking us to the football, taking us to the Rangers games, or playing football in the street constantly, football tennis off the side of the house, there was football parks everywhere.
Aye.
I mean, we had the Texaco in the corner face, which is still there, but every other football park now they're all away, it's all houses.
Did you find having two brothers, like Viewpark, it's rough and ready. Sometimes it was like survival of the fittest. Did having two brothers help?
I'm the oldest.
Right,
To be fair, I'm the oldest out of three years.
So you helped the other two.
Aye, but see, to be fair, I'm the quietest out of 3 years. The other
Right.
two are fucking head cases. And I'm the quietest out of 3 years, so I'm kind of the sensible one, apparently.
Right.
Even though I've got my moments. But,
okay.
aye, so no, just a great place to grow up.
Primary school, what school did you go to?
Burnhead Primary.
Burnhead, and how was
Burnhead.
that? Were you a born academic, or were
Do
you...
you know what? I was actually alright at school. Primary school, I was pretty good. Even when I went to high school, I went to decent grammar. I was no bad to start halfway. But then you get to kind of 14, 15, you start,
Sidetracked.
birds.
Aye.
You start drinking. I was working as well. I always worked.
Right,
Even
okay.
when I was like 13, 14, doing the tablet and macaroon around the doors,
Aye.
doing that to start halfway. And then paper runs. Like there was don't know if you're maybe older than you, but used to get this free paper. It was like the
Oh,
Lanarkshire
people.
people it was called or something.
Aye.
And I think you used to get about 5 pence a paper or something. You had to deliver about 500 papers to get about 30 quid or something. Like. It was mental. Used to do that. And I've always been a bit of an organiser. So I would have all my pals in the street. Right, you take that street. There's your papers. You take, and we'd all do it together so we get it done quicker.
Aye.
And then I think I let my brother Billy do it one day, and he just took them all down the glen and ditched them.
That was mine. It was
Aye.
the
So that was us sacked. And then a kind of proper paper run out. There used to be a wee shop down at the Thornywood. There was a wee shop down there.
That's right. Aye.
So used to do the papers for in there. So you'd be round the streets of Viewpark at 6:30 in the morning, doing all your papers, me and my wee mate. So I've always worked.
Right,
As I said, you get to kind of 14, 15, you start to get a bit of money in your pocket.
Aye.
And you think school starts to kind of tail off a wee bit because, you just want the money.
I went to St Gabriel's, which was a school right next
Right
to
across the road.
Burnhead, and we used to battle with them all the time. And folk, I remember like when I used to get to high school and even beyond that, and folk used to say, "Why were you battling with that other school?" And you'd be like, "I don't know, just like
was
we were
there.
a Catholic
It
school,
happened.
they were a Protestant school.
Aye.
That's just west of Scotland.
It happened when
like,
I was there as
typified.
well, but I was never, I was too soft. I was never a fighter.
Aye.
No, I'd be too interested in football.
Oh, I was involved, but I got battered every single day. Like, you know, I was game, but I didn't really have anything behind me, so I had no brothers or no sisters, so
Just get a miss.
I just get battered every day.
We would always get told, you get in trouble, you wouldn't get in the football team, you wouldn't get to play football.
Right,
And
okay,
I was in the primary school football team and stuff like that.
Right.
So football was my life, still is,
Aye.
to a certain extent. So I was make sure I was never in bother anybody really, at primary school or that, but you knew you wouldn't get in the football team. So I was just like, nah.
So you went to, oh sorry Andy, so you went to Adi Grammar. Did you stick on at school? Did you stay beyond 5th year, or did you leave the first chance you got?
As I said, go to about 3rd year when you pick your subjects, and then I started working, and I just kind of went downhill for school a wee bit. I done all right, standard grades, kind of middle of the road, average. Nothing excellent, but nothing that bad. Stayed on in 5th year, but again, I just wanted to work. I just wanted to leave school, get a job. That was all I was interested in. So 5th year at school, you know, you start dogging it and you get free periods and stuff like that. And I was by away, but I was too young to leave anyway, because I didn't turn 16 to like the Christmas.
Right, okay.
So I couldn't leave, so I had to do 5th year anyway.
Right, okay.
So then, out of school, what was your first job then?
Out of
Big
school,
Bad World?
straight into Dawnfresh.
Dawnfresh.
Dawnfresh. It was like the worst job in the world, but it was the best job in the world.
Aye.
There was like 40 young ones for Viewpark, all working together.
Aye.
What a laugh.
Aye.
I mean, you're pivoting to shell prawns and stuff like that, but the carry on you go in, you used to get up the road stinking of fish every day. My mum would be like, right, stripped out the door, you're not coming with all that gear on. But as I said, all the young ones for Viewpark all working together. And so it was like, there was fishies trouts getting through about the place and getting scaled the back of your head, and buckets of cold water getting poured on your wellies and whatever else. It was just, it was...
How did you actually cope with the smell? Like, I used to drive past that and put my window up in the motor for like 300 yards away. You could smell the
Do you know what
factory.
though?
Like,
See, because you were in it every day, you couldn't smell it.
Aye,
you couldn't
you
smell it
just
off
used
yourself. But if you walked by somebody, you were just became that used to it.
yeah, right, okay.
So that's what it was like. But I remember when I started, it was like £3 an hour. That's what you were on. £102 a week, right, man? 20 quid to my mum, 80 quid my week every pocket. 16-year-old, you think this is brilliant.
Aye.
And then we got a pay rise, went up to £3.10 an hour.
Oh, God.
And went up to £105. I think it's £3 a week.
Balling.
Up to £105. So, but then 16, I didn't really drink that much or whatever else. So you were just playing football all the time. So I just wanted to work, wanted to leave school, get a job, and that was it. And Dawnfresh it was kind of an easy place to go to. I said all the young team for Viewpark, they were all there. So
How long were you in Dawnfresh?
I was in Dawnfresh for 5 years,
Right, okay.
maybe nearly 6 years,
So
nearly
you've
6
seen it
years.
a while then.
And then so I moved to, well, it's Morrison's now. See, doing the industrial estate in Bellshill.
Safeway at the
It was
time.
Safeway at the time when I got a job in there. Christian Salveson, man, my wages nearly doubled. From Dawnfresh to Morrison's, I was Safeway at the time. Aye. So started in there, March 2001. Started in there, and again, it was just a lot of young ones all working together. Like, used to drive the wee buggies. I worked in the chill, so you'd be all driving the buggies about the chill, making up orders for the shops and that, and it was like something out of Super Mario Kart. All the young ones just driving about together, carrying on. But no, it was good, but you get put on different shifts and that. I mean, when I was in Dawnfresh, I was just day shift all the time.
Aye.
So you started having to do back shifts and all that. So again, that's just kind of stepping into the real world.
Aye.
But I was started in there when I was, 21, 22. But I was just a stupid boy, just a daft boy at that
Aye.
age.
I think like that's that typically like maybe that generation, like in I don't want to say in my day as though it was like a million years ago, but it kind of transpired that folk that left school for our era that didn't really quite know what to do or didn't have the best qualifications often went into contact centres, call centres. Back in the day, it was factories, it was warehouses. I had a short stint in a next warehouse, and I'm not even kidding. My job for like 8.5 hours a day was they gave me a red marker, right, and you had to red dot every label so that if a customer brought an item back, they knew it came for the sale.
Right, okay.
So I would stand for 8 hours a day. It was just a massive conveyor belt of clothes and just do that and red dot every single item of clothes. You used to come, and it was like permanent marker. So you used to come home at night caked in red dots and have to like scrub all your skin, and that was it for me. I wasn't a factory or a warehouse guy, but
Aye.
That getting washed every day just do it for you.
aye, that was it. So
But then it was just money in your pocket at the end of it.
Aye.
Every Friday it was you were getting a wage in, and I've always worked. I've never no worked. So I said even when I was like 14-year-old. So it's like it just became the norm.
We've spoke about this a lot in the podcast that you never feel more loaded than your first job when you were still staying with your mum, didn't really have any bills, maybe a phone bill if you were lucky. And as you said, you know, you're getting 80 quid in your pocket, but that's all the money in the world back then when you've got no bills. And
Yeah, you didn't die.
It's just beer, isn't it?
Aye, that was it. And
See, how long were you in Safeway or Morrison's?
I was in Morrison's for 20 years.
20 years?
21 year.
Right, oh God.
Actually, I was in there for 21 years. So just different like departments, because it's like some size, that place.
Aye.
So started off in the chill for a couple of years, and then you moved to the freezer. Was in there for, so it was like in a big giant freezer. Again, driving the trucks and that, and the buggies making up the orders. And again, it was your wages every week. You just done it. Don't get me wrong. I know there was far worse jobs out there than Morrison's, but at the same time, as you say, doing the same thing for 8 hours a day. There's times it just becomes you're like a hamster stuck in the wheel, just going round and round and round. That's what it's like. But you're young, you just need it.
And do you have kids?
I've got 2 boys, aye.
Did you have your boys throughout that period when you
I
were
did,
working
aye. My oldest boy, Scott, was born 2003. He's 21 next week.
Right.
So I was 24 when Scott was born. So again, it was vital that you had that wage coming in every week.
Aye.
And then I've got Jamie's no long turned 12.
Aye.
So he was 2012, he was born.
I asked that question just because there's an interesting kind of, I won't quite call it a debate, but depending on who you speak to, and maybe you can enlighten us as well, because you've probably both experienced it through a different lens. But when you have kids, the debate is almost like, is it easier to be going through that when you have a job? So it's just clock in, clock out, your routine's set, you know what you're earning, you can kind of fit that in and around your family life. Versus when you're running a business and you have kids, it's no quite as structured. It's like, oh fuck, I need to do that, and you can't quite switch off in the same way.
Aye.
Where do you two stand? I know you can only talk about it through your own lens, but where do you two stand in that debate? Do you think it'd be easier to be employed and just in out part of your structure, or do you think it's easier when you've got your own business because you've got that flexibility and right, cool, I'll go and pick up whatever I need to pick up?
I don't know, I'd say both of them have their good points, you know what I mean? Like you say, you get more flexibility if you're the boss or the gaffer, you can tell you go pick the reins up for school. She's no well, they're getting sent home, you've got the freedom to do that, but there is also then the 10 o'clock at Saturday night phone call, shit's hit the fan, you need to go fix it. So it swings and roundabouts.
Aye,
that's good points and bad points.
There is to both. Being your own boss is good. Do you know what I mean? Because I've had gaffers early years who have been absolute arseholes.
Aye.
Hope they're listening to this, by the way. I'm not going to name them more.
Name them.
Oh, okay, so there's that. So being your own boss is, and if you need to take a day off or something, or so as I said, Sandy said, there's like positives on both sides and negatives on both sides as well.
Right.
Like when you're younger, you've got wins. You say you clock in, you clock out. You need it. Because if you want your wains to have the best of gear, you want them to go on holidays, you just want your wains to have the best, and you need it. And it's like something I encourage. Well, our Scott, he's working now. He's got himself a part-time job, he's at uni. And I've always drilled it into Scott. I'm like, you know what, you only get out what you put in. So if you want, he's driving now. So he knows he has to go and work. He knows he's got to go and do extra shifts. And he does, to be fair. So I've always been in that mindset with Scott where, you'll get out what you put in it. So you need to graft, you need to work.
Do you find your motivation level since you've had kids has just naturally increased, or is it just pretty steady?
I think as you get older, you mature. You're not a daft wee boy anymore. Like, I'll be honest with you, I didn't mature. I didn't feel like an adult till I was about 40.
Aye.
Right? Just I felt like a daft boy all the time. But as you get older, you mature, and then your kind of motivation starts to. And me having my own business, it's like I never meant for any of this to harm. I almost just snowballed. But as it snowballed, I get bigger and bigger. So then your motivation to make it succeed and to make it work, that comes from within.
I think like my motivation's increased, but no necessarily. I think to like earn more, produce a better life for my daughter. It sounds a bit cliche, but my motivation I think's increased almost through like my wife's an academic through and through, 2 degrees, did uni twice, she's a teacher. I'm pretty much the polar opposite in the sense that I can't concentrate on anything for longer than 5 minutes. Was murdered in school despite doing 7 years, left with nothing. So I think my motivation increased to almost a point where it's right, we need to demonstrate to our daughter that no matter what route she takes, she can still make it work. So if you go down the academic route, like mum, you'll make it work. If that's not your bag and you leave with nothing, then, you know, dad's made a good rock at it without having anything himself as well. So
it's good to have that wee bit of drive about you and that wee bit of motivation. Like, I went back to uni, well, as I said, in Morrison's, right, day in, day out, clock in, clock out, hamster on the wheel, same roles every day. So I went back to uni when I was 27. I just walked into uni one day. I was sick of my job. I just thought, I want to do something different.
what did you do?
I went into open day at Bell College, UWS, and I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So I just looked down all the list of courses, and I'm quite good with numbers, quite good at Sudoku, like that. So I was like, accountancy, I'll do that.
Right.
And I just joined, signed up for it there, and then, because I was working full time, funded it myself, so I went 2 nights a week and just stuck with it. And I think it's too easy to, it got hard because you're working all day, you're at uni at night, but it's too easy just to quit. It's too easy to say, I can't bother this, I'm paying it in. So I stuck with it, and I got my accountancy degree, graduated in 2012, 13.
Brilliant.
Right.
Done that.
That'll be handy running a business. Yeah.
I know the ins and outs, I know the basics.
Aye,
I don't
aye.
know every in and out because the tax laws change every year.
Aye.
So I know the basics. Do you know what? I think anybody could do accountancy, it's just being organised.
Aye, it is.
So I know the basics, and I could kind of keep myself right to a certain extent. But so I went and done that, and then I went and started. I thought, no, I've got my degree, let's keep it going. Because I was still in Morrison's at this point, still scunnered with the same day in, day out roles. Started my ACCA, Chartered Accountancy.
Right, okay.
But at this point, I had went night shift in my work again because I was sick of day shift and wanted to try something different. So I went night shift in my work, different department. But I was going to uni. So I was getting into, on a Thursday, I was getting into do my lectures at Cali in the town. I was getting into do that, having to leave Cali about 8:45 to get the train to Bellsall to get to my work for 10 o'clock. And it became a bit too heavy in the end.
I was
And I was doing my exams. So, like my chartered accountancy exams. And then I failed a module. And then I tried another module, failed that. And I was just like, this is too much. Having to do uni, night shift. Night shift is, you're just a constant state of tiredness with your night shift.
Aye.
And then I thought, right, I'll do one more module. If I fail it, I'm finished with it. Then I passed
Right,
the module, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I passed. I was like, I passed
Gutted.
it. Aye. So I kept it going. But then I started soccer boppers. And I started getting a bit of cash in my pocket. And I thought, and I'm coaching kids, playing football, getting a bit of cash, and I thought, I like this. This is good.
We'll get into what is soccer boppers in a minute,
Okay.
but beforehand, what was the spark for it? What was the, like, can you remember a singular moment
soccer
when you
boppers?
for soccer boppers when you went?
I'll name it if you don't want to, Derek.
Somebody else's idea. What was it? So I took somebody else's idea. My wee boy Jamie, we were taking him to a class. Same idea, right? I was coaching at the time. I was coaching our Scots team called Braze. Mona Braze. So I was coaching his team, right? I had his to 2003, so I had them for about 6 years. I had them all the way from 4s, through to 7s, through to 11-a-sides, right? And I was like, I'm quite good at this. Getting in touch with the veins, getting them to, just getting a kind of communication with them and a relationship with them and that. And I was like, I'm quite good at this coaching, I could go on their level. So I took my wee boy Jamie to a class. He was only 4 at the time, so it was early 2016. Bellsall Academy, 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Hung over every week, going to this class. And we were at it. And I remember thinking to myself, this is a good idea, this. Because it's like, the class was for kids, like kind of 2, 3, 4 year old. And I was like, I'd never seen anything like that before.
Like,
with Wayne's
like an
age.
introduction to football,
Aye,
basically.
basically.
Aye.
Right, and the 2 guys that were taking it, it was like a franchise, right? Little kickers, that's who it was. And they're still going strong to this day.
Right.
So it was like a franchise. And I'm at this class on a Sunday morning, And I'm thinking to myself, this is a really good idea. But the two guys that were taking it, you could see they weren't football coaches. They were just kind of making a few bob.
Business guys, basically.
Aye, and I was like, right. And I was sitting in your spot and I was like, that's a good idea, but I'd do that differently. I'd add that the bit in, like the kind of football coaching maybe starting to come out. And I was like, and people were throwing money at these guys. And I was like, it's like your score one day. I was like, we could do this. We could do this, but we could do it better than them. So we just thought, right, let's go for it. So we booked out the Burnbank Centre. It's a wee hall in Burnbank. Booked that out for a couple of trial classes to see how it went. Set up a Facebook page, got flyers made up, went about all the local shops with posters and stuff like that. And the two trial classes filled up right away. So we thought, right, good. So that was, we had the trial classes in April 2016. So the first, I actually come up on my Facebook memories the other day. It was the first, 12th of May, was the first official classes that we done in 2016. So it just worked. And then we just kind of kept it going.
I can be a testament to that, obviously, 'cause we did take Cammy to Little Kickers, and it wasn't, the folk that took it were just, not that they weren't interested, but the two, I think there was a guy and a lassie in his class, and they were like students who were just a bit like, there, filling a place, not really that interested in complete antithesis to what you're like with soccer boppers. Do you know what I mean? Yours is much better than Little Kickers, but it's cause of you know, for wanting a better thing.
It never started like that. It just started off me and Scott in a hall for 2 hours with 2 classes. That was it. And then we just kept it going. So we booked out the hall for, we only booked out the hall for a month at a time to start off with, just to see how things went, because then the summer came in, summer 2016, and like, a lot of people were going on holiday and that, so numbers kind of tail in the summer a wee bit, but interest was growing as well. So we got to, I think it was August 2016, and we thought, right, we'd be a waiting list already. So we're like, why don't we try and do a second day? So we booked out the hall on a Monday. So that was us Monday, Thursday. So 2 classes then became 4 classes a week. And again, it was going well.
Was it in the evenings?
It was in the evenings, aye. So it was like, it was 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock for the 2 classes.
You were doing this around your job at the time?
Aye, at that point I was night shift in my work. Okay. So that way I could get home, get a wee hour's kip after it, get my dinner, get an hour's kip, then go and do my night shift.
Aye, God, you must have been shattered still though.
It's night shift though, you're just constantly tired.
Aye.
You're constant state of tiredness on night shift. So we just kept it going, and for the first time in my life, I started to get a wee stash of money.
Aye.
A wee bit of money in my pockets. You work all your days, right? When you're growing up, you've got kids, you've got a mortgage, you pay the bills. Didn't really have much left to throw about after all that. You made sure everything was done. You had money for a carry out of the weekend, maybe a Chinese on a Saturday night, a football coat on the weekend, pay your gym bills, phone bills, whatever else, and didn't have much.
Aye.
There wasn't much left. So, for the first time in my life, I started to get a wee bit of, I'll put that back in the drawer, a wee tub of pound coins, and it starts to build up more, and I'm like, oh, this is not bad. So that took us, we just kept going, waiting list started getting bigger, and I was running Scott's football team at the time called a Braze. So that folded Christmas 2016 because it was just getting too heavy. Like me coming off night shift, going straight to a game in the morning, having to put up nets, fucking clean dog shit off a park, whatever else, and Wayne's not turning up for football because the Waynes at that age, they were like 13, they were starting to go to weekends and that as well, and you're turning up with games for 9 men, and I've just done a night shift, and brilliant wee group, but it was just starting, the wheels were coming off it. So then that freed up a Saturday morning because we had no games now. So it was a case of, right, let's see if we can start Saturday classes then. And you kind of build relationships with people, like, see the lassie for the council who does the bookings for the halls, you get to know her. So you build up a wee relationship. So that was us. We go to the hall in White Hill to start off with. So we tried the Saturday morning classes, 2 hours again, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and again it worked. So that was you up to 6 classes, 3 days now. So it was just that kind of natural kind of progression sort of thing.
And did it just continue to build and, you know, all right, there's another wee waiting list, we'll stick another class on, there's another one, we'll stick another
2018, again, a waiting list. So we started a Tuesday afternoon in Burnbank. So that was us then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Right.
And at that point, you were still on constant night shift.
Constant night shift, aye.
Constant night shift in your day job. But then that's... Because once you start having that many classes with that many weigh-ins, that then soon becomes a full-time job in
Aye.
booking halls,
You know
chasing
yourself, your
payments
phone doesn't
and
stop.
And then people are phoning you, or there's a text message, can Jimmy's wee pal Jamie
Like,
start? And
I finished classes the now, right? Well, last night, for instance, finished at 7 last night, went up the road. You've got 8 WhatsApp messages to reply to, you've got 3 missed calls, you've got 2 text messages, you've got Facebook Messenger messages, you've got all the social media stuff today, because social media is huge.
Aye.
When it comes to your own business. It's free advertising, social media. So you've got Facebook, you've got Instagram. I mean, time I got my dinner last night and sat down, it's like 9:45. Replied
Aye.
to everybody. Aye. You don't just finish at 7 and go up the road, there's still another couple
Yep.
of hours today. But I would never complain about it because I love what I do. Love it.
Aye. See, I think the reason I'm particularly interested in delving into like almost like the structure of your life at that point, right, is because I think a lot of people will be listening and they do what I done for years, which is they listen to the wee voice in their head that tells them, you don't have time to start in like that. You don't have time to be, you know, you're too busy. You've got your job, your range, you've got your family to run. But actually, no matter how busy you are, no matter how little time that you've got, if you really want to do it and it's something that you enjoy in particular, you'll find a way. You know, because I know you're quite blasé and going, oh, you're tired anyway at night shift, but that must have been fucking tough.
Well, Friday nights, used to do your night shift, come in, get maybe 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep, back up, go and do your Saturday morning classes.
Aye.
But aye, you love what you do, so you just do it, and you think to yourself, oh, I'll catch up, I'll catch you later on, or something.
Did you get to a tipping point where you thought, this is kind of getting a bit too much now between me doing my gig at Morrison's and running soccer boppers?
That would have been 2019. So 2018 we started the Tuesday classes, and then again everything's just going well. Doing my 4 10-hour shifts, night shifts. So I kind of looked at that as you get 3 nights off a week. So you're almost penciling in nights to get to sleep.
Aye.
That's what it was like.
I'll sleep these 3 nights.
Aye, I can sleep on Monday. I can sleep on Monday night. That's what it was like. 2019, again, it's just getting bigger. So at that point, we were sitting at 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 classes a week.
Aye.
But again, we had a waiting list to start me. So I went off my work in the sick because it was getting too heavy. And I had lost my mum as well.
Right.
Lost my mum towards the end of 2017, and I had never really
Got over
dealt
it.
with that. Never really
Aye.
dealt with it. You just start plodding away and you just keep going. So I hit a brick wall, March 19. So I went off in the sick. I think my dad was in hospital at that point as well. And then I thought, right, let's try morning classes. Because at that point, kids were getting morning or afternoon slots in nursery. They weren't getting full days. So there was a lot of kids who were going to nursery only in the afternoon. So I thought, right, why don't we try morning classes? So it was a case of booking out halls again for the morning. So we set up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday we set up. The mornings, we put on another 8 classes and they all filled up.
Right.
So that was us then doing, well, I say us because our Scott was at school at this point, so it was just me. I was doing the morning classes. Scott was helping me in the afternoon, but he was getting to that age too where he didn't want to come out every day.
Aye.
He wanted the money, but didn't want to come out every day.
What age was he?
Scott would have been about 2018, 19, been about 16 at this point,
Right,
15,
okay,
16.
aye.
So Scott would only help me certain days, but the morning classes all filled up.
Aye.
So then that was us sitting at about 20 classes a week. I did in classes for older kids because I realised that there was kids out there who, well, the classes I'd done to start off, it was like 3 to 6 year olds, and that was it. But then I realised there was kids who were older than that who wanted to play football, but
Had never started.
there was nothing for them there because it was only teams.
Right, aye.
So we added some older range classes, 6 to 9 year olds, again just basics, fun introduction to football, and they filled up as well. So it got to a stage where like everything we touched was just coming off.
And how were you like? I need to choose my words carefully here. I was about to say how were you acquiring more kids, but how, like, I guess they are your
Sounds a bit dodgy, that, by
I
the
know
way.
it does. I'll choose my words carefully. But like, when you looked at the schedule and thought, right, I could squeeze another class in there. How were you then filling that class? Was it just organic social media posts that were then reaching the
social
masses?
media. Wayne's go to classes and the parents love it, and the first thing they do is they tell their pals, they tell their neighbours. Brothers and sisters were coming along and joining in and enjoying it.
Right.
Anytime his class wasn't full, if there's a brother or a sister sitting about at the site, it's always like, Andy, do you ever want to join in?
Right, okay.
And then
because you're there anyway, you might as well fill it.
They're there anyway, and then she then joins, and you know, if it wasn't pretty confident, if Ava didn't go to soccer bockers, she wouldn't be fucking fit by daft the way she is.
Monarchies.
Aye.
See, the classes need to be fun. So see if you make it fun, the Waynes will come back.
Aye.
So I'm quite immature anyway, so I can have a laugh with the Waynes, have a giggle with them. I mean, me and the older Waynes would take the piss with each other all the time, and it's just a good laugh. So the Waynes enjoy it, the parents enjoy it because they see the Waynes having a good time. The classes aren't in it, and it's nothing difficult. It's all fun, simple stuff, and obviously I need to put in energy into it, which I do. Because if you put the energy in, the kids will match it. So they come in, it's high five, fist pumps, whatever else, and everybody loves it. It's like I get grannies and grandas who do the morning classes with the grand Waynes because parents are working. And honestly, I've got some grandas who see if they can't make it, they're raging because that's their weekly football fix. You're watching their grand Wayne playing football, having a good time. It's like everybody's a winner. So the parents enjoy it, the Waynes enjoy it, the grandparents enjoy it. They tell all their pals, they tell their neighbours, their cousins, then they all want a piece of it.
Right,
so at 2019, at that stage, everything was going great. There's a chat, I don't know if they're called a charity or a youth, can I say, up through the council. They were called Spell. So they were supporting play for early learning in Lanarkshire.
Right.
So they came out to assess my classes. They worked with youth groups in nurseries in South Lanarkshire, and they got funding for the council. So they took me on with them. So then they were getting me contracts to go into nurseries for an hour a week. So I was in Cambuslang, I was in East Kilbride, just like getting monthly contracts.
Right, that's
and
brilliant.
at the end of the day, I'm getting paid. Today,
just
something that I would do for nothing. So, as I said, we started doing birthday parties. People would ask, can you do a birthday party for us? Just like a soccer boppers class. So, if you make it fun for the Waynes, they'll enjoy it and they'll come back. And as I said, football's my passion, so I love what I do. So, everything just works.
Good, mate. Even just sitting down talking to you, you can you get a sense that you've just found your calling, almost. And you know,
it's funny. See, if you like when I was younger, you ask my aunties and uncles and all that, and they'd be like, "I could tell you all these stats about football." Honestly, I think I've got autism, and football's my thing. See, if autism was about 30 years ago, I'd have a certainty to go on the spectrum. I don't know what day of the week it is sometimes, but I could tell you the crowd that I gave in 1989 or who the subs were or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's mental, but football's just always been my thing, and to this day it still is. And
fast forward to today, I guess.
Well, sorry, I just stopped you there. You just mentioned obviously you were going great guns in 2019, and then obviously everybody knows what happened, what was around the corner. So how did that play out for you? Sure.
In 2019. When I hit that brick wall with my work and stuff like that, and my mum passing away, my work, I was off sick for maybe about 2 months or something. They're like, right, what can we do to help you back? I was like, I'll come back part-time. So I dropped down to 2 nights a week. Right, and I thought, if I start all the morning classes, that'll cover, because my wages were getting halved. So I thought, I'll start the morning classes, because it was already doing well enough. So I dropped down to 2 nights a week. So I worked a Friday night and a Sunday night. That was my 2 night shifts, and I thought that gives me the full week off to batter my classes, and I'll get through the weekend. It was tough on a Friday night, like getting into a Saturday morning, straight from work to Saturday morning classes. Sunday night shift, maybe an hour in my bed, straight to Monday morning classes. So it's almost like I'd pencil in a Monday night for sleeping. That was my night for having a beer and getting asleep. A Monday night. Saturday night as well. And if you wanted to go out on a Saturday night, usually you had to sleep during the day if you had sun on the Saturday night. But as I said, you were almost on autopilot to a certain extent. You just keep going.
And Oh, sorry, Andy.
No, so I was going to say, so then obviously COVID comes round the corner.
COVID.
How did that, because obviously if you then cut your days at your day
COVID.
job.
You know
half
yourself,
days.
COVID fucked everything for everybody, more or less. You're flying, absolutely buzzing, everything your day is coming off, and then done, then everything stops. So at that time, supermarkets were like the only places you could go to.
Aye.
And so they were obviously stocking up on stuff and people were stocking up in the house. So tail between my legs, looking for Moors back in Morrison's. So back again, it was like a case of you having to phone in. I got to a point where Sunday night and Friday were my contract hours, because my contract changed, so I was only doing 20 hours. So I was having to phone in every night, any shift's gone tomorrow, to try and get yourself back up to the 40 hours.
Aye.
The parents were amazing. A lot of the fitter parents were like, nah, you took the hit for us by going part-time in your work. Our wages haven't changed. Because through COVID, a lot of people's circumstances stayed the same. Their money didn't drop or so they're like, we'll continue to pay you.
That's
So
amazing.
a lot of parents still actually sent me the monthly fees.
Brilliant.
First thing I did was tell everybody, drop your standing order down to a penny or something. But a lot of people were like, no, we'll still square you up. So the parents have been, for day one, the parents have been amazing with the football.
Aye. But I tell you what, mate, like, I don't know them and I've never been to your classes, but I'll go out on a limb and say they wouldn't have done that if their kids weren't mad in love with whatever it is that you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
You build up a relationship. Like soccer boppers isn't just about the banes. It's about the brothers and sisters. It's about the parents. It's about the grandparents. It's everybody that comes, like as Andy said, if brothers and sisters are standing outside, I'll come on, join in. And he's coming, you want to join in, help yourself, come back in. So it's like a wee community, almost that they've formed. And as I said, I never set out for any of this. It's just almost snowballed,
Aye.
and it just kept going.
And how do you almost just think about it or looking at it through a lens of like solid business, right? If I look at it, you know, let's say as like an investor, right? And I say, right, how do we get this to 3 times the size it is now? To me, it sounds like you're the secret sauce, right? You're the person that makes it tick. Parents buy into you, your ethos, your passion for it. How do you emulate that to grow it beyond where it is now? Or is that not an ambition that you have that you're just quite happy ticking along
People
with?
ask me about this quite a lot. Would you take on coaches? Would you... Because it is set up as a wee business, soccer boppers. Would you franchise it out? People have asked me about this quite a lot, and what I'm doing now works. It works for me, it works for everybody. So obviously it's the kind of risk and reward kind of scenario. By if you take somebody on, it could work, but they could make an asset, and it's your name that's tarnished by it. So there is that as well. But I'm in the mindset that it's working. Just keep doing what you're doing. If something works, keep doing it. Don't tinker with it too much. As I said, somebody comes in. I don't want to sound big-headed here, right? But see, if somebody was to come in and start me a soccer boppers classes, like another coach, they'd need to do it the way I do it. Because what I do works. They'd need to be, I don't know, almost as good as me at doing it. I don't know. I don't want that to sound big-headed because it's no... they would have to get it perfect.
But I've already, like, I totally agree with you in that. Like, you've went to little kickers. I don't want to keep disparaging little kickers.
Little kicks are good, by the way.
But you've went to it, and I've went to it, and the concept of it is great because you get that concept and it works and it brings kids into football, introduces it in a fun way, and then you do the whole, like the bit that I love with social media stuff especially is pick random names out. David's away to join the fitba club. Do you know what I mean? That's him left soccer blockers. He's graduated for this and he's now away into club fitba.
Aye.
And you do that for all the kids, and it's like a starter for people getting into fitba. When
it's a wee introduction. Fitball's an introduction because see with kids fitba teams now, right, they start off at 5-year-old. I seen a team last night, 2018s I think it is, advertising, and they're looking for advanced players at 5-year-old, and I'm just like, oh my god, advanced players at 5-year-old, do you know what I mean? So like there's Waynes who've came to soccer boppers for the... I've got a wee guy, I've got 2 boys who started with me in August 2016 in my Monday classes, Lewis and Sean, and they're still here. 8 years they've been with me, and they just, I only need to start classes for fucking 18-year-olds because these Waynes are never going to leave, I don't think. But as I said, there's nothing for Waynes. See, like, obviously the team start at 5, 4 and 5. It's like, becomes serious right away for the Waynes.
Aye.
Becomes pressure, right? Everybody wants to win. Winning's good, but it shouldn't be the be all and end all at that age. And it's like, parents want to win, coaches want to win. You hear coaches shouting at the sidelines and whatever else. And I don't know how you are with Ava, with Aki's, but when you go up to Ravenscraig on a Saturday or Sunday morning, there's coaches going after heads at 5 and 6 year olds, and I've been there because I had that with Scott's team as well, so I've seen that myself. But the stories I hear with parents and coaches shouting and bawling and what square goes with each other for Waynes at 5 year old, I'm just like, oh my god. So with soccer boppers, there's no pressure. You just come, you have a laugh, and as I say, they two Waynes who started with me at 2 year old, see by the time they go to teams at 5 and 6 year old, they've been kicking a ball about for 4 years. So I'm not saying they're going to be the ultimate player, but they've got a head start.
Aye.
They've had that introduction to football. So it's almost like a wee head start by joining soccer boppers, and then you're in it for a couple of years, and then you're ready for a team.
I think the challenge that it sounds like you're kind of grappling with maybe internally around, like, oh, what if I hire somebody and they're not as good as me? I think the reality is that they're never got to be as good as you. Like, we've spoken to a couple of business owners about this in the podcast, and I don't quite remember where I seen this, whether it was a social clip or an article somewhere, but or it might even have been a wee workshop that me and my business partner went to, but they spoke about if you can hire somebody to do it and they can do it 70% as well as you, do it, because it enables you to grow. It means that you can take a wee step back, you get a bit of time back, and you can almost do more of that working on the business rather than working in the business.
Yeah.
But you're certainly not the only person that sat there and been honest and said, I'm nervous, because you hand your reputation to somebody,
Like,
and what if they make an arse of it?
I've had, like, students come in to help me, like students who are maybe doing sports coaching diplomas at uni, so they've got to get work experience.
Right.
So I've had a couple of kids in helping me, and they've been no bad. They've been all right. Obviously, they're kind of younger, so they're a bit nervous and that. But then, and I've said to a few of them, what do you think? Do you think you could, like my nephew wanted to start Sonny Cell, right? And my brother was talking to me about it, and he was like, hire out Burnshaw Sports Barn for Ben, and he'll get this something the same as you. I was like, look, it's not just turning up though and playing football. You need to deal with parents. You need to book calls. What you got to do if Waynes are kicking off. Like, I wish I'd started soccer boppers when I was 25. But see, when I was 25, I wouldn't have been ready to do it.
Yeah.
Because I've been too immature, too stupid. Wouldn't have been ready to do it. So it's not just turn up and kick a ball about. There's so much more to it than that.
Do you think there's something about having kids that makes it a bit easier to deal with other people's kids? Because I'll not speak for you, right? But before I had kids, other than maybe kids that were really close to me, like maybe his kids, other mates' kids, families, I was hopeless with Waynes. I didn't know what to say to them. I used to just stand awkwardly beside them and be like, all right, wee man. No, I think just when you get a kid, it's like, I know how to get onto their level because I know what makes them tick, and I'm just a bit less nervous
Honestly,
about
I
it.
think I've got the IQ of a 5-year-old. So that's why I can get on their level. Honestly, I think I have. Having kids, I suppose, prepares you for working with kids.
I think having kids prepares you to deal with the parents more than it prepares you to deal with the kids. Because when I obviously did youth work and that, when I didn't have kids, and there's certain situations or conversations or things that I've done where I'd have been like, I probably would approach that differently once I was a parent, because you then understand how a parent's going to be receptive rather than just as a person. When Wayne, you don't understand what having a Wayne does to you.
Aye,
before you have a Wayne.
Of course it does. But it's like when I ran Scott's football team called a Braze, everybody bought into what I was doing. The kids, the parents, and we were like one team going forward. Everybody together. Even though the parents now still have night out together. And I've not had his team now for 2016, but the parents all still, they get together for nights out and that. For somebody's having a party, everybody invite it. So everybody kind of bought in, we're all going the one direction. And soccer boppers the same. To a certain extent, everybody's gone the right way. Everybody's focused on the same thing. But moving forward, the Wayne's having a laugh, no pressure. That's like the main thing, no pressure. Some Waynes will come, and some Waynes are all different. Some Waynes will just swagger through the gate and they'll come into the class right away their first week. Some Waynes are quieter, some Waynes are shy, some Waynes you need to kind of just, and I'll say to parents, look, no pressure, let them watch, let them do what they want. And like sometimes I get parents coming in and say, oh, he's been here 2 weeks and he's not doing that. I was like, it's 5, just give him a chance. Give him a chance.
But that's parents at their best.
I
We
know.
love comparing our kids to
I know.
other kids and going, why is he and she's no? And
Aye,
that, you do that through
every
all
Wayne
your
is
full
different.
life.
That's what I've learned. Every Wayne is different.
And is it your full time vocation now? You're no longer
new.
juggling the.
It is now. I finished in Morrison's in October 22.
Right. Okay.
So after COVID, well, say after COVID, we were off for 4 or 5 months, and then restrictions were all changing about bubbles and being outside in open spaces and moving about and all that and no contact stuff. So we had to change everything that we did because everything we did was indoors before COVID.
Aye.
I had done the odd class down at 5 Hamilton, down at the pits. So I'd done a few classes there. Like in the summer, I'd take the Waynes out, the Saturday morning Waynes and we'll go outside and do a class. So I'd built up a wee relationship with them. So I think it was like July 2020. Started off outside. And we got the all clear to go outside and do the outside stuff. So with the case of saying all the parents, right, here's what we can do. Who's in? And at that point, everybody had been locked up for 4 or 5 months.
Aye.
So people were desperate to get back out and get doing stuff. So it was a hard 4 or 5 months. But I mean, I was doing online videos for the range and I was taking my bag of balls up the park and doing crossbar challenges and doing fucking burpees. So you could do many burpees could do in a minute out the back. Who can beat me? Stuff like that.
How did it feel walking into Morrison's with your notice and going, right, I'm going for this here?
Didn't quite work like that. I went back to my part-time hours July 21 because soccer boppers had picked back up in the year we'd been back. So I went back to my part-time hours and then I lost my dad. No, I had skin cancer. I was diagnosed with skin cancer on October 21, melanoma,
okay.
just a wee daft mole on my arm. But luckily, I was like, they got it early enough, so I was stage 0, I was fine. So I was off my work for a bit. I went back after Christmas. I was back, wasn't back long and my dad died. So I was back off again. And I was getting like, oh, you've been off twice in 6 months. Stuff like that for a work. I was like, fucking hell. So I just thought, fuck it. And at that point, I think COVID changed a lot of workplaces in the sense that it used to be good places to work. Like Morrison's used to be a great place to work. But early years, got new owners, and then it became, like American companies started taking it. Like, I think it's GXO now, XPO, became GL, and it just started to go downhill. And you hear a lot of people now who work in like factories, warehouses, and it's not the same. With all these new companies who have took care, and it doesn't matter if you've worked in there a week or 25 years, you're a clock number. So Morrison's was going downhill big style. And then after my dad died, and I was like, right, we're stopping your sick pay and all that and whatever else. So got to a stage where I just thought, right, soccer boppers works. Let's try and
Never, never.
Let's start more classes and just don't go back.
Brilliant,
so that's what I've done. So after I was off, my old man passed away, May 22, he died. So I just didn't go back.
Well, do you know what, mate? Any business that's willing to give an employee a hard time for being off due to cancer or losing a parent.
It never used to be like that though. It never used to be a great place to work. And it's funny, one of the aunties who brings her niece to my Friday class, she was one of my gaffers, Eleanor. She was one of my gaffers at Morrison's and she terrorised us when we were younger. But see now, all the old guard are away. Right, everybody's left because it's like just a shit place to work now. And unfortunately, I think that's just a lot of, I hear people who work in different workplaces and they're the same. Everything's been downhill.
And there's, as we've touched on earlier, there's pros and cons to being your own boss. How are you finding it?
There's more pros. I don't see myself as my own boss. I just see myself as a guy who turns up to play football with a bag of Fitbits 28 times a day, 28 classes a week. So I don't see myself as my own boss. I'm just almost living the dream.
28 classes
28
a week?
classes a week a day. I just turn up, do them, get home. Like, I don't look, life can change like that in a second. So I don't look too far ahead. I just turn up and do it.
Aye.
Turn up, do it, get home, chill.
Do you find it, and I'll try not to, dig into this too much because I would imagine it to be pretty emotive, but did you find that losing your parents at all changed your mindset in terms of, like, I've found it when people close to me either pass away or something tragic happens, you almost recalibrate and go, life's too fucking short. Why am I fucking about in a job that I might even enjoy it, but I'm not loving it, I'm not passionate about it, I'm not waking up every morning and thinking, yes, what's on the agenda today?
Again, it goes back to that what we spoke about earlier, that like people who, there's still people in their 40s and 50s who they're working in like these places and they're thinking the same, I hate this place and I want out, but at the end of the day it's a wage in their pocket every week because they've got a house to run and wains to keep and bills to pay, but food in the fridge. So I understand why people do it, but I was lucky in a sense with soccer boppers that I was doing something I enjoyed and it got big. But I still feel like the luckiest guy in the world. Do you know what I mean? To be doing something that I enjoy. This full thing was an accident nearly. I never meant it. I never meant any of this. But it just happened and it just got bigger and bigger. So I'm quite lucky, but I see why people need to work. And if you want the good things in life, you need to work for it.
I had a wee peek at your social media this morning and prep.
Did you see you get player of the night last night?
No, I
just
McDade.
Just before he comes on the podcast. There you go, Eva.
I thought it might be a wee fucking cake or something this morning, but no, some sandwiches.
He's a wise man, He's a wise man.
You need to work, people.
But I can see straight away you're pretty active on social media. Is that an important part of your business?
Social media is everything. All the advertising I've ever done has been through social media, and it's free. It's free advertising if you use it right. Now and again I'll pay for like to boost posts and stuff like that, but it's rare. It's just a case of setting up a Facebook page, set up an Instagram. Let's face it, Facebook, nearly everybody's got it. Everybody sees it. At the start I was like, when I bought the shops, I got flyers and that done when I bought the local shops, done all that. But social media is huge. Everybody's got it. The
big thing is, we've already mentioned it, but it's a community soccer bockers. You know what I mean? So most parents whose reins are out of fit by have either done little kickers or soccer bockers. Like I think all our pals, I think Wayne went to little kickers or that. But they've all done one or the other. But the people who do soccer bockers still keep going back even when they go and play for the club. Like Eva has his club fit by, but is now back at soccer bockers. So it's just another, right, so is we Ariana.
If you look at Ava's class, there's Ava, Ariana, Alan, Sam. They're all in teams, but they all enjoy what we do at soccer boppers, so they just keep coming all the time. As I said, and there's Waynes who I literally can't get rid of. I don't know why I get rid of them, I don't like get rid of anyway. But there's Waynes, because they enjoy it. And I said, I'm always sitting down with notepads and all that and try to work out new ideas, and I'm always on
that's
YouTube.
what I was about to ask. How do you keep it fresh so that the kids are continually enjoying it?
It's hard sometimes because you don't want the Waynes doing the same stuff all the time. So sometimes I sit down with just a notepad, YouTube, come up with ideas. I'll see something on Instagram and I think that could work. How can I put men's slant on it? How can I progress that? As I said, because when I was coaching our Scots team, I was the same. I had notepads and fucking markers and highlighters everywhere and all that and stuff like that. So it's just kind of using your imagination, and when something's a passion for you, it kind of comes to you that wee bit easier. So basically I sit down now and again and I'll see something on TikTok and I think, that could work. So it's just keeping things fresh. But then there's times I haven't got class plans. I just turn up and I've got maybe 7 or 8 things up my cuff that I can say, right, I'll stay that, set it up. Because a day, I mean, you're talking
28 times a week.
Your best part of 1,100 classes a year.
Aye.
Obviously, you need to vary it at times because you've got smaller kids. So, like, there's certain things that will only work with certain classes because the kids are different age groups with the classes. So, there's certain things the bigger ones could do. Ava's class, that the weird ones in the 3 to 6 year old class, it wouldn't work with them. So, you need to know know the kids as well and know what would work.
And I think just kind of circling back to the social media piece in particular, we had like a social media guru on a while back, and even a couple of other guests that have spoken about local businesses, even when they are keen, often what holds them back is they go, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to post, I don't know what to... But for you, is it literally just as simple as video or take pictures of what is happening and then post it for
I'll
others
always
to
take
see?
pictures of the classes. So every class a day, away and gets a trophy. Soccer bopper of the week. That's another wee thing that the Waynes love. I've got a captain's armband, so we know about the captain one week. Take a wee picture of him with the captain's armband. I've got a trophy last night. Take a picture of the trophy. Take a group picture. I always got a group picture of the Waynes. Last night it was a cracking day. Weather was nice, so I was taking kind of action shots of the Waynes playing football and stuff like that. I've only just learned how to edit videos, sort of thing. Put videos together, wee clips of videos, just through an app. So I've started doing that as well, like taking some videos of the Waynes and cutting them and putting them together, and then putting them on Instagram and that as well. So, social media is, as I said, it's everything, and it's everybody's got it, everybody uses it,
Aye.
and it's free.
What's the thing in your business that you, I won't say struggle with the most, but what do you find to be the most challenging thing in running your business?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Maybe you get Waynes that kick off sometimes.
Aye.
But everybody says to me, oh, you're so patient. How you so patient? But see, if you ask my Waynes, I'm not patient. You ask them, they'll tell you I'm not patient. But if I don't really get many challenges, because everything just works.
Do you ever get challenges with parents and their behaviour?
No,
really?
No, never. Rarely. You could count in the one hand a year any issues I've had with parents.
Aye.
The weather can be challenging sometimes because we're outside.
Aye.
So, I mean, for the full Easter holidays, it pushed in for a full 2 weeks.
Aye.
And we were out every day, drenched every day. And you'll get a hardcore that will turn up regardless.
Aye.
They will not miss it. So, like, somebody literally to die for me to cancel a class. I'd never cancel classes because I know there'll be a hardcore there, whether it be snowing, whether it be sleet, wind, rain, heat. The Waynes will be there because they'll love it.
Aye.
So I cancelled classes last year and I'd bothered my wisdom teeth. The year before I had food poisoning, I had to take a week off. Obviously when my mum and dad passed away, but even when I was going through my cancer kind of stuff, I was just kept going. Didn't even cancel it. Just kept going. Just went through a breakup last year. And just kept going because it gave you something to focus on. It's good. It's a good distraction. At times, if you've got something going on, see if you've got something going on in the background, soccer boppers is a distraction because as soon as you go through that gate, you've got 12 Waynes at a time to deal with who are all hyper in that. So any troubles you've got, you forget them when you're there. So it's good mentally as well for you. You're out, you're exercising, you're running about. I mean, my daily steps are mental because of the amount of classes I do every day.
Are you doing like 2 or 3 classes a day?
I do six on a Monday, 6 on a Tuesday, 6 on a Wednesday, 2 on a Thursday, 4 on a Friday, and 4 on a Saturday.
God.
So I almost treat Thursday as like a day off.
Aye.
I finish at 11 on a Thursday morning and I've no more classes until Friday at 4. So I've almost got like 24 hours off. So Thursday nights maybe a night for just chilling. But even at that, I'm never off my phone, and you've got all the thing about to deal with, all the finances to deal with and all that, and make sure everything's paid, and you're chasing people up because parents haven't squared up the fees and all that. So Thursday night's maybe a night off, but it never works out that way.
Aye.
And then Sunday, I don't do classes on a Sunday. So so it's pretty, as I say, the phone, you'll know yourself, 8 in the morning to 10 at night, it's just constant. It's never out your horn.
I find it to be a really fickle thing because I feel like I have more flexibility than I've ever had, but I'm definitely working more hours than I ever have in my life. Like I was still on the go last night at 11:30, had been in the office for 9:30 in the morning, and don't get me wrong, it's no constant. There's in between school runs, having dinner, have a bit of a play with the rain and that. So it's a strange thing where people go, oh, it must be amazing, you must have all the flexibility in the world. You feel like you do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're putting in less graft, less hours. You're doing more than you ever have.
I think when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. I mean, for me, if something happened to me and I had to go and get a real job, that's what I call it. Morrison's just been my real job.
Aye.
And soccer boppers was like my hobby. So the thought of getting back into Morrison's for 8 hours a day or 10 hours a night or my working a real job would kill me.
Aye.
So I'm in the mindset now today that I need to watch what I'm doing.
Aye.
Like, people say you got to get my fives. And I'm like, see if I get injured.
Yes,
That's
good.
my livelihood gone.
Aye.
Aye. Even, God, when I was in my 30s, I broke my pinky, I broke my wrist, broke my leg, broke my ankle, and everything was either playing football or been steaming. So even like that, you need to watch what you're doing now, because it's like, so now I have to say I'm retired to playing football, but I'm still active every day, playing football with the kids.
All right, mate. Well, as always, we're almost out of time already. It's always, as we say, it's always the quickest day of the week, but we always like to ask before we wrap up, what does the next maybe 3 years hold for you? Do you have, grandiose ambitions to grow up beyond where it is now, or are you happy just maintaining?
I'm happy maintaining, but at the same time, I don't like to stand still. I like to keep pushing forward. I like to have that bit of drive. I think if you stand still, you can maybe get a bit complacent. So it's always good to kind of keep thriving, keep aiming forward. But at the same time, what I'm doing works. And as long as it works, if something works, keep doing it. So that's kind of where I'm at. As I said, it's bringing somebody else in and they make an asset.
Aye.
Just so if something works, keep doing it. But I start to get itchy feet from time to time, because I'm like, right, what can I do next? Don't like to just stand still. I like to keep going. But what I'm doing working. So just if it's working, keep doing it.
And for all of the listeners, many of whom I'm assuming will be in Lanarkshire and Glasgow, give your business a plug. If they want to bring their kids along, what do they do? How do they contact you?
You can get us through the Facebook page at Soccer Boppers. You can get us through Instagram. The Facebook page has got a WhatsApp button, so you can also get us through WhatsApp as well. We've got a TikTok as well. Again, Soccer Boppers. I really like TikTok, and I'm right into TikTok.
Yeah, it's fun.
Quite good, actually. It is, by the way. I've learned so much of the last year for TikTok. Cooking and everything. Gym stuff. So you can get us just basically through all the social media. Soccer Boppers, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
All right, cool. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I've really enjoyed sitting and listening to your story. Plenty of lessons in there, as always, in terms of, find something that you absolutely love doing and ignore that wee voice in your head that tells you you've not got time. Do you know, like, you were literally sat there saying, I used to chalk that day into sleep. The other 3 days were all about working. So, that in itself is there's a lesson there. If you want it enough, you'll find a way. So well done. Kudos to you, mate.
Thank you.
Congrats on the continued success of your business. And I'll need to get my wee one up to a wee class, I think. See how she finds it.
Aye.
Well, cheers every day, as always, for listening in. We'll be back next week with another guest. Gives a like, gives a follow on all our socials, and we'll speak to you soon.
Cheers. Thanks.